Incredible! In apologizing for one of the most shameless chapters in Canadian history, namely Canada's refusal to allow the MS St. Louis to dock here in 1939, Justin Trudeau actually used the J word when it came to identifying the victim group. Will miracles ever cease? The latest mea culpa uttered on the seemingly endless Justin Trudeau Apology Palooza tour came by way of the PM formally apologizing for Canada's refusal to accept 907 German Jews fleeing the Nazis almost 80 years ago. The Liberal government of the day, headed up by Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King, said 9 when the St. Louis asked for permission to dock in Halifax. As such, it was forced to return to Europe, and 254 of the Jews aboard the St. Louis would end up dead in concentration and internment camps. It was an unspeakable tragedy that was so easily preventable, but alas, the Mackenzie King Liberals subscribed to a policy of none is too many when it came to Jews seeking refuge in Canada. Last Wednesday, almost 8 decades after this shameful decision, Justin Trudeau delivered an apology, and you know what, folks? He actually said the J word in referencing the victims of the MS St. Louis. He actually said Jews as opposed to, boat folks. I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks after all, eh? Because keep in mind that in the past 2 years, on 2 separate occasions, Justin failed to mention Jews in prepared statements commemorating the Holocaust. How is that even possible? It's kind of like chronicling the history of the World Trade Center without mentioning, that little incident that occurred on 9/11. Now, giving credit where credit is due, the apology Justin presented in Parliament was very well crafted. However, I think it's really quite easy to issue an apology to a bunch of dead Jews some 8 decades after they were executed. It takes some real moral courage and testicular fortitude to support the Jews who are very much alive today in Israel. Remember how back in May, when Israel, the only true democracy in the Middle East, was under attack by weapon-toting Palestinian thugs in Gaza? Well, Trudeau chose to stand with the thugs. Here's what he stated when Israel had the utter chutzpah to protect its borders. Quote, "Reported use of excessive force and live ammunition is inexcusable. It is imperative we establish the facts of what is happening in Gaza. Canada calls for an immediate independent investigation." End quote. Alas, the only thing Palestinians are world-class at doing is the fine art of propaganda, and our PM bought into their lies hook, line, and stinker. And let us never forget that the Mackenzie King Liberals turned away genuine refugees fleeing genuine persecution in 1939, but today's Trudeau Liberals, well, they have nothing but open arms for bogus refugees who freely walk across the US-Canada border, aided and abetted, of course, by the Royal Canadian Bellhop Police. These scammers aren't fleeing from a death sentence in America, rather they're just gaming the system. Clearly, they don't want to follow the rules that are in place for those who want to lawfully immigrate to Canada. Hell, Trudeau can't even call them for what they are, illegal immigrants. He prefers irregular. As for eradicating the loophole in the Canada-US Safe Third Country Agreement that allows this ridiculous charade to continue unabated, well, that's a non-starter with Justin. This shouldn't come as a surprise, really. Trudeau operates via the mantra of, if it's Islamic, it's good, and if it's good, it's Islamic. Justin has plenty of time and sometimes plenty of taxpayer money for those who subscribe to radical Islam, including such esteemed citizens as Omar Khadr, Joshua Boyle. In other words, Justin likes to get chummy with the sort of crowd that tends to deny the Holocaust as they dream of manufacturing another one. So if you indeed observed Justin getting a tad misty-eyed last Wednesday in the House of Commons when he delivered this long overdue apology, don't be fooled, for I reckon those particular Trudeau tears were of the crocodilian variety. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.